Background?
My name is Dr. Andrew Mulwa, a medical doctor by profession, working in the Ministry of Health, and previously working the acting CEO, Kenya Medical Supplies Agency, KEMSA.
Please confirm whether you're the one that saw the affidavit on page 67 of volume 1.
Yes, I am.
In respect of which allegation in the motion did you swear this affidavit?
I have sworn affidavit on issues raised on paragraph 45J, 78C, in ground 7 and 11 of the motion for removal of the office by impeachment of His Excellency, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua.
Paragraph 78 of the motion, what does it say? 78A, that would be page 37 of 85.
To illustrate, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua bullied Kenya Medical Supplies Agency officials into awarding a tender for the supply of mosquito nets to Crystal Limited, his proxy company. Crystal Limited had submitted here it's written effective bid document with the sole intention to fraudulently acquire public property.
Dr. Mulwa, did Crystal submit a tender in this procurement for the mosquito nets?
Crystal did not submit a tender for this procurement, but was the local agent for a company called Shapika Impex Limited, which submitted bids, and part of the local documents, like the pesticide control board certificates, were actually submitted by Crystal in the tender document.
So Crystal was actually the one submitting the bids?
There was a reference of Crystal in some of the local documents that the bidder had to submit.
I want to refer you to volume 8A of the Assembly's document, page 18 of 19. Are you there, sir?
Yes, I am.
What is the title of that letter?
It's appointment as local agent for Duranet LLI in Kenya.
This Duranet, is it the mosquito net that was being procured? Or is it a different one?
Duranet was a company that initially used to do that which changed to Shobika. And I think in this letter, it is Shobika writing to confirm that they have appointed Crystal as their sole local agent in the country.
What does it say in the second paragraph?
We are pleased to appoint Crystal Kenya Limited at State House Avenue, Liaison House, 3rd floor, of PO Box given in Nairobi, Kenya, as our exclusive agents in Kenya for promotion, marketing, and sales of Duranet long-lasting insecticide nets manufactured by Shobika Impex.
Page 17 of that document, what does the second paragraph say?
There was a change of ownership for Duranet LL9.
Read it loud.
And there is change of ownership for Duranet LLIN, which is alpha cypermethrin 0.55%, WW registration number PCB CR0189.
I'm referring to volume 8A, page 17. What does the second paragraph of that letter say? Can you read it in full?
We have taken note of the change in ownership of Duranet LN9 from Clark Mosquito Control of USA to Shobika Impex Private Limited, India, and appointment of new agent, Crystal Kenya Limited.
The documents we have so far read in volume 8A, sir, do they show a link between Shobika and Crystal Limited?
Yes.
Is Crystal Limited, to the best of your knowledge, connected to the Deputy President?
From my affidavit, I did not know initially that there was a connection.
Yes.
But through a phone call from His Excellency the Deputy President and conversations between myself and his son.
We'll come to those phone calls and conversations, but for now,
I was able to establish that there is a connection.
There is a connection. Let's go to page 10 of 19 of volume 8A. Who has authored that letter? Page 10 of 19.
Page 10 of 19 is a letter from Ethics and Corruption Commission to myself as the acting CEO, dated 21st of August 2023.
Is this a body that would authoritatively speak to matters of corruption in public procurement?
Yes, it is.
Is it authorized to investigate such matters?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Now, this letter, what was the letter asking you to do at page 10 of 19?
The letter was giving recommendations for administrative action against procurement officers, Cosmas Rotich, Anton Chege, and Caroline Mugo, who are officers working in KEMSA and participated in the procurement of the mosquito nets.
Towards the bottom of that letter, Roman 1, what does the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission tell you?
It says, and I read, Mr. Speaker, sir, the Technical Evaluation Committee, here abbreviated TEC, recommended the award of tender to Shobika Impex Private Limited, yet their bid was paginated in pencil and what was not sequentially paginated contrary to instructions to tenderers clause 20.3, which provided documents to be paginated using indelible ink and marked sequentially.
Does that paragraph you just read show there was corruption or wrongdoing of any type in processing this tender?
It does, Honorable Speaker.
And who was benefiting from this manipulation of the tender?
Shobika.
Is that the same company that the Deputy President's company, Christo, is the local agent?
Yes.
Given those series of events, would it be fair for anyone to suggest the Deputy President did not have a hand in the procurement irregularities for this tender?
I think I would say Shobika,
yes,
was irregularly being recommended for award of a tender without meeting the set criteria.
Would you say it's just coincidental, sir, that a company connected to the Deputy President was awarded a 3.7 billion tender?
I was not in KEMSA at the time, and I would imagine that KEMSA being a procurement entity whose core function is to procure,
yes,
the technical teams would have a proper understanding of procurement procedures and therefore would not make such, would not recommend award of a tender to a company where they are glaring failure to meet the criteria.
Given the contents of your affidavit and the phone calls will come to from the Deputy President at this sense, would it be fair for anyone to suggest this matter in page 10 was just another coincidence, that the company irregularly awarded the tender was one connected to the Deputy President?
I don't think it would be.
You don't think it would be fair?
Don't think it would be a coincidence.
It is not a coincidence. In your estimation, say, would a fair-minded person faced with the facts you have so far taken as true think it was a coincidence that a company linked to the Deputy President of the Republic was irregularly awarded a tender for 3.7 billion.
The Speaker, honorable senators, I think having had the advantage of interacting with the documents that are before us, I think I would say from the record, the bid bond that is being referred here was delivered as a mail and not as part of the tender document.
Page 8 of 19 of still volume 8A, towards the bottom, Roman 1 again, does it show yet another irregularity involving this Shobika Impex, the company linked to the Deputy President?
Which page, Counsel?
That would be page 8 of 19, Roman 1 towards the bottom. Does it disclose another procurement irregularity besides the one we saw on the other page?
Here it says, and this is the letter from Ethics and Corruption Commission, that the Director Procurement interacted with the bid security for Shobika Impex Private Limited on the 24th of February 2023, prior to the tender opening date, which was on the 10th of March 2023, contrary to tender instructions for tenderers number 21.3.
Please confirm whether the Deputy President in his public address on the 7th confirmed to the Republic that he placed phone calls to you with regard to this tender.
Yes, he did, and in my affidavit, I have as well alluded to the same, that he called me to follow up on the release of the bid board.
Do the duties of the Deputy President of the Republic extend to placing calls on junior government officers about tenders?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
But did the Deputy President also admit in that public address that his son equally called you?
Yes, he did.
Are those the phone calls alluded to in paragraph 4 of your affidavit?
Yes.
You have also said, besides the phone calls, the son of the Deputy President sent you WhatsApp messages. Have you annexed any of those WhatsApp messages?
Yes, I have, in my affidavit, page 70 of 85.
In those affidavits, in that page 70, who is the person indicated as sending you the message?
Dr. Ikinu Rigathi.
Who does he say he is contacting you on behalf of?
He tells me that he's contacting me. He asked me to contact him when possible. There is a document for His Excellency that he's trying to collect.
Was this document in your possession?
Which was investigating the anomalies of the procurement of the L-Alliance.
So the Deputy President and his son are pressuring you to surrender a procurement document under active investigation by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would that be interfering with active criminal investigations?
From where I sat as acting CEO, I felt pressured because the documents were not within our custody, and had to actually make effort to follow up with the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission for the documents to be released back.
Have you placed any evidence before the Senate to confirm these documents the Deputy President and his sons who are harassing you to surrender were actually under the custody of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission?
Yes, I have submitted my letter to the CEO, Ethics and Corruption Commission, asking for the bid board documents for Shobika.
We are
at page 73 of 85.
Page 73 of 85.
Yes.
Can you read the relevant part, which I believe it's 72 of 85, Mr. Speaker, of volume 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, 72.
Can you read that paragraph? What does it say?
This one that I wrote to ethics and corruption is actually 73.
Okay.
72 I had written to Shobika.
Yes.
Telling
Let's begin with 72. What did you tell Shobika?
Paragraph 2, we would like to inform you that the subject tender is currently under investigations and all the documents related to this tender are not under our custody. We have, however, written to the Ethics and the Corruption Commission to release the original bid bond to facilitate your request. They had requested for release of the bid bond.
And the one in...
Through a letter dated 12th June 2023.
And the one in 73, in summary, what were you trying to do?
I was requesting the CEO, the Ethics and Corruption Commission, for the bid bond for Shobika Impex Private Limited for the malaria net tender, which I had requested, that I had informed him of the letter that we had received from Shobika, requesting for the bid bond.
Sir, given the magnitude of this tender and the national crisis it stoked, would anyone expect the deputy president, when he was harassing you, to know that the matter was under investigation and active investigation for that matter?
I want to believe so.
Lastly, sir, claims have been made on this floor that the allegations against the deputy president transcend the force to the ridiculous to the embarrassing. This material you have taken is it consistent with the narrative that ground 11 of this motion is false, ridiculous, and embarrassing?
Through the Speaker, Honorable Senators, what I've presented before this House is the truth, nothing but the truth, and verifiable by document presented.
I want you lastly to read from your paragraph what you told the National Assembly bringing us here. Can you read paragraph 6 of your affidavit, sir? That is page 69 of 85 of volume 1, Mr. Speaker.
It says, given the status, power, threat, and influence of the people involved in the interference with the investigations and cover of irregularities surrounding the procurement of treated mosquito nets, I was constrained to surrender the original bid bond to Ogora Wilson Okulo. And in short, I was caught in a tricky situation. Being a junior, there was nothing I could do as a junior government officer against a sitting deputy president for the Republic of Kenya.
That's all for purposes of the examination in chief of this witness, Mr. Speaker.
Counsel for the deputy president. Your witness.
Good evening, Mr. Mulwa.
Good evening.
My name is Dewanjiru. I will be asking you several questions in respect to the testimony that you have just delivered. When did you join the KEMSA?
I joined KEMSA on the 17th of March 2023.
Before that, who was the CEO of the organization?
Terry Ramadan.
Terry. Were you there as and when the alleged tender processes were taking place?
No.
Who was in charge of that process as at then?
Terry Ramadan.
Terry Ramadan. Therefore, the issues that you are testifying before this assembly, are they issues that you saw, perceived, or they are issues that you are told?
One, there are issues that my appointment...
Were you told or you saw?
It's
a simple question.
I was not told.
Yes.
Neither did I see.
At what process you are not told and neither you never saw?
I was involved.
You were involved? At the time you joined the organization, what stage of the tendering process was it?
The tender had just been terminated. There were investigations.
The tender had been terminated.
Yes.
You therefore never participated in that particular process whatsoever for whatever purpose, yes?
I participated in a very big way.
All right.
In the
Would
sense,
you then lead this assembly to understanding your participation in that tender?
this matter was a matter that, one,
What exactly did you do that relates to this tender?
I participated in the investigations on this tender.
So
by
you participated,
ESCC,
excuse me?
by PPRA, by the Senate, by the National Assembly.
But at the time when the bids were alive, the bidding was alive, you had not joined.
I was not in KEMSA.
And therefore the issues you're testifying before this assembly are not issues that you witnessed.
Not issues that I executed.
Thank you. Now, what was the status of the tender at the time you came or you joined?
I actually joined KEMSA as a result of this tender.
No, I'm not asking why you joined. What was the status?
The tender had been terminated.
The tender had been terminated. Do you know of any company that is associated with the deputy president that succeeded in this particular tendering process?
For purposes of...
You know or you do not
yes,
know?
Shobika had been recommended for award, but since it was cancelled, did not proceed.
Was the award granted to Shobika?
No.
Do you know why the award was not granted?
Yes, I know.
Yes?
Because Global Fund do a pre-award review of every evaluation of Global Fund funded tenders. And after doing a pre-award review, they did not agree with the technical evaluation committee that had evaluated the tender and recommended for cancellation of the tender.
Thank you. You've answered. So it's as a result of the review of all the bids that culminated into the cancellation of the tender, correct?
Yes.
And how many companies had bidded in that particular process?
I cannot remember, but maybe 9 or 7, I cannot remember.
You cannot remember because you never participated, yes? Yes or no, Mr. Witness?
If I get the record, I would remember.
Counsel, show him the records.
Okay.
He has it. Show him his affidavit in volume 1. In that volume 1, that is at page, Honorable Senators, the National Assembly volume 1, at page 67 and 68. Did you indicate the companies that participated in that process?
Not indicate the companies that...
You chose to conveniently refuse to indicate them, correct? Correct or not correct? I don't need an explanation.
Not correct.
Why didn't you indicate the companies that participated in that particular process?
My affidavit...
Your affidavit has explained it.
My affidavit is premised on...
Okay, I know your affidavit.
Yes.
I have read it several times, but my question is very specific. Why did you leave out the other companies that participated in the process?
For purposes of my affidavit, I did not find it necessary to
Never thought it necessary. Now, confirm that Shobika company was never ever awarded the tender.
The tender was cancelled.
Tender was cancelled. Did the Republic of Kenya lose any money as a result of the award not being granted to Shobika?
Yes, it did.
Did the Deputy President have anything to do with it?
Did
the Deputy President have anything to do with it?
I wouldn't say the Deputy President.
I'm asking, you know, we are here because of the Deputy President. Did he have anything to do with it?
A company related to
I'm asking, did he have anything to do with it? It's a simple question. Yes or no?
I already have...
Yes, and you'll furnish me with an answer.
I've said yes, because the company that is associated with him had been irregularly awarded.
Had been irregularly awarded. Do you know that this matter was subject of investigation by Parliament?
Yes, I am.
Did you participate in that investigation?
Yes.
Honorable Senators, refer with me to page 183, volume 3 of the Deputy President's bundle. Volume 3, Honorable Senators. That is the report. Will go with me to page 220. At page 220, Mr. Witness.
Can I get the document?
Give him something. Give him the copy. You can get volume 3 for him. Volume 3. Page 220. Can you see, confirm that those were the companies that participated in that particular tender, yes?
17 bidders.
At page 220.
Yes, there are some 17 bidders.
How many are they?
17.
Go to page 221 and you read, can you see where it is written 100?
Yes.
Can you read out that statement?
In its report dated 25th April 2023, Global Fund noted that KEMSA had failed to apply evaluation criteria consistently to all bidders and that none of the bidders met the minimum requirements.
None of the bidders met the minimum?
Requirements.
How many bidders did not meet the minimum requirement?
For purposes of this report, what the Global Fund is talking about are the 17.
All the 17. Yes. And therefore, Shobika was not an exception, correct? Shobika was not an exception. It never qualified, correct?
Yes.
Now, look at where we have page, at paragraph 105. Yes, can you see where we have Roman B? So we have B. Can you see B? 105, paragraph 105B. Yes, can you read what B says?
The Global Fund document reported that the bid bond for Shobika Impex was not paginated, and the management of KEMSA argued that the bid bond was not part of the bid, but was rather an accompaniment.
What is that? What does that mean?
I think
not thinking, reading and understanding.
It means, and I had said exactly the same, that this document was not submitted as part of the tender document, but was brought in as ordinary mail, while in normal procurement, bid documents should be part of the procurement.
Can you go to page 222 and look at paragraph 106?
Notwithstanding KEMSA reservation, in the letter dated 4th May, the acting director procurement recommended the termination of a process.
Yes?
The CEO approved on the 5th, and termination was communicated to all the bidders.
So there was a termination of the bidding process, correct?
Yes.
As a result of non-responsiveness of all the bids, correct? As a result of non-responsiveness.
Yes, after Global Fund differed with the KEMSA Technical Evaluation Committee.
Did the Deputy President have anything to do with that?
I would not say.
Would you associate that to the Deputy President?
I am not competent to talk about that.
I am asking, do you associate that process with the Deputy President?
I cannot comment on that.
You will comment. Do you associate
because
that?
I don't know.
Here we are not in a hospital, we are in a court, seeking to save the life of a man you want to be impeached. Do you associate that with the Deputy President?
I am saying, I don't know.
What don't you know?
Whether this has everything to do with the Deputy President. Because the bids were terminated by Global Fund as a result of irregular evaluation.
Irregular evaluation of how many companies?
Of 17.
17 companies. Yes. Thank you. Look at paragraphs 107 at page 22 222 once again. Yes? 107?
It says it was further a testimony that the authority had struggled to maintain autonomy owing to undue interference from the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
Whose authority, whose testimony is this?
I don't know.
Read paragraph, go to page 219. Page 219. Can you see where you have C, submissions by Ms. Terry Ramathani?
Yes.
Therefore, these are statement correct?
And I would not say whether they are correct or not.
Read,
Yeah,
Mr. Witness.
They are Terry Ramathani.
So we understand who is now speaking at paragraph 17, correct?
Yes.
Read it then.
It was further the testimony that the authority had struggled to maintain autonomy owing to undue interference from the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
The authority had failed to maintain autonomy due to the interferences by?
Yes, that is Terry's statement.
Read it.
By the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
Have you seen any interference that indicates that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya interfered with the process?
I have not
From
seen,
the report?
and I cannot own or disown.
I'm asking.
It's not my statement.
Have you seen that statement speaking to the person of the Deputy President?
It is not.
Thank
It's
you.
not mine.
And it speaks as to who was interfering with the processes, correct?
That's not my statement.
Read.
But it's not mine.
Yeah, I know it's not yours. That's
So
why I'm
I
asking
cannot
to
own
read.
a statement that is not mine.
I have not asked you to own it. I've asked you a simple thing, to read the statement as indicated. Who was interfering with the processes and the autonomy of KEMSA? According to that statement,
According to the statement, the Cabinet Secretary for Health.
what is the name of that Cabinet Secretary? As at then?
Not indicated.
Let's proceed as I finish up. Let's go to page 226. At paragraph 136, what is the Assembly's Parliament saying?
In the late April,
In the late April,
he learned from the Global Fund pre-award.
who
review.
learned?
I don't know.
Look at the submissions at page 225.
Myself,
Who learned?
the acting CEO, which is me.
Who was that?
Me.
What did you learn?
I learned in late April that the Global Fund pre-award review report that the airline's tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the bid evaluation.
Do you still maintain with the position that you gave, or you want to?
It's exactly what I said.
That's exactly what you say.
Yes.
And therefore, that does not link or has no nexus with the Deputy President whatsoever, correct?
I think you are wrong.
What did you say?
You are not right on that one.
Read, what does the statement say? What did you say? What did you say in Parliament?
It says the Global Fund pre-award review that airline tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the evaluation. It is the inconsistencies in evaluation that recommended an award to a bidder that had not paginated documents,
Mr.
which
Witness.
was a mandatory
I have
requirement.
not asked you that question that you are attempting to answer. I have just simply asked you to read what you stated before Parliament. Then a question will follow. And you read in verbatim.
I have read.
Yes, read it again.
I learned that the Global Fund pre-award review report that the airline tender was to be cancelled on account of inconsistencies in the bid evaluation. And
What was the reason for the cancellation?
Inconsistencies in evaluation.
In evaluation.
Yes.
Who was evaluating that tender?
Technical Evaluation Committee.
Does the Deputy President sit in that tender committee for evaluation?
It doesn't.
Was he involved? Okay, let's look at paragraph 38. Yes? Again, what are you saying at paragraph 138?
And 38 says, he further maintained that the advisory to the PS, State Department of Public Health and Professional Study, on the alleged inconsistency in the technical specification neither passed through his office or the head of department for the strategic health programs, but was forwarded directly to the PS by one Dr. Omar, the head of malaria program.
Mr. Witness, you are aware why we are here, yes?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand the charge in respect to this matter that the Deputy President is facing?
I am here to...
Do you understand?
I understand.
You understand that you allege that you are intimidated and bullied by the Deputy President, correct?
Yes, I understand.
And that is contained in your evidence, correct?
Yes.
Why were you being bullied, if at all it ever happened?
I want to believe
Not to believe. We are not dealing with beliefs here.
Okay.
We are dealing with the facts.
I was bullied to submit bid document for
documents. When was the tender cancelled?
In late April.
In late April. As at that time, had you joined KEMSA?
I had not.
You had not joined. When were you purportedly called by the Deputy President?
In August.
In August. At that time, was the tender alive or it had been cancelled?
Yeah.
At that time, was the tender alive or it had been cancelled? What happens upon the cancellation of a tender to bidders who had submitted their documents?
Bid books are returned.
Bid books are returned.
As a routine process.
As a routine process. Therefore, it is normal for somebody, a company that has bidded, to make follow-ups with the bids, correct?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And that the following of those bids for purposes of returning them to their rightful owner does not violate the Public Procurement and Disposal Act, correct?
I was in KEMSA.
Does not violate, Mr. Witness.
Does not violate.
That's the question. Thank you. Now, Mr. Witness, as I finish, you understand that you wrote several letters that you have annexed in your affidavit, correct?
Yes.
And the first letter is the one that is appearing in volume 1 of the National Assembly's bundle of document at page 70, correct?
Page
70.
70.
Correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
And that is an alleged, what document is that?
These are WhatsApp conversations between myself and Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
Yes?
WhatsApp conversations between myself and Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
How would you ordinarily be able to tell that this conversation has come from this particular platform?
One, this is on
Which platform was this?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Which number is there? And I want you to specifically look.
The number is already saved. That's why it's written Dr. Ikino Rigathi, because it's already saved on my phone and therefore cannot show the number. If I had not saved the number, you probably would have gotten the number.
When you receive a message from a WhatsApp, when I receive a message on my WhatsApp, when you send me a message, does it indicate the source?
Yes.
Does it also indicate the recipient?
I mean,
does it indicate the recipient?
If the recipient
does it or does it not?
Whether number or saved a contact.
So in these circumstances, where is your number that indicates that you are the recipient of this message?
There is no.
There is none.
Yeah.
And therefore this is a concoction of the truth and a fabrication and a forgery of documents.
I've sworn this under oath. My phone is still with me and can be availed to competent agencies of law to
What explanations do you give for the lack of your print of the your phone number in this conversation?
This is what...
what explanation do you give?
I am not a technical person, so I cannot configure how my phone displays messages.
But you confirm that this is not usual.
This is what is on my phone. If I give you my phone and I open the conversation, it will appear as it is here.
Do you extract a certificate for this purpose? Was a certificate showing the source of this information extracted?
You will need to clarify. I am a doctor, remember? I don't know what a certificate is.
When you generate a printout from your phone, your advocate is required to certify that this document has been generated or emanated from a particular gadget. Do you see that certificate incorporated in these proceedings?
I said I don't know what that is.
There is none.
Unless my advocate shows.
I therefore put it to you that this never originated from your phone, nor did it originate from my client's son, Dr. Ikino Rigathi.
That's a lie. That's not true.
So what did you find intimidating in this message?
I said, like I said...
Would you read out what the message states?
This is Dr. Ikino Rigathi here. Kindly contact me when possible. There is a document for His Excellency we are trying to collect.
What is Dr. Ikino telling you?
There's a document he's trying to collect.
How is that intimidating?
As an acting CEO,
how is that intimidating? How did you get intimidated by that statement?
I am the one who received the message, Counsel, and I am the one who felt intimidated. And I am stating before this Honorable Senate that I felt intimidated.
Okay, let's go to the next paragraph, the next page, page 71. What document is that, and what is it dated?
This is 12th June, notification for tender for LLINs.
Yes.
12th June 2023 to...
what does the statement read? What's the content of the letter?
Reference is made to the above tender, which we participated in and were unsuccessful. We wish to collect the original tender documents, the original bid bond for the same tender.
Who is the source of that letter?
Shobika.
Shobika.
Yeah.
And what is he saying?
He's saying, kindly issue the original bid bond to the bearer of this letter.
Was that anything? Is there anything unusual by as an unsuccessful bidder seeking to have the refund?
Nothing unusual.
Okay, let's go to paragraph, the next page, 72. Again, when is it dated?
30th of June.
What is it? What's the content of the letter?
I am, it's signed by me.
Yes.
To Shobika.
Yes.
And I was replying to their letter.
And what are you saying?
And I'm telling them that we want to inform them that the subject tender is under investigation and all the documents related to the tender are not in our custody, and therefore I also informed them that we wrote to Ethics and Corruption Commission.
Yes.
To release the original bid bond.
Was the tender returned? Was the bid returned?
It was not immediately returned.
Yes. Did you get a communication from the EACC in that respect?
Not immediately.
What did EACC indicate?
They indicated, and that was way later.
Did the EACC return?
They responded. Yes, they responded, but I had to personally follow up.
You had to
after
personally
the calls.
follow up?
Yes.
But was a bid returned?
I personally picked it after the calls.
When you're forwarding the bid to Shobika, in your letter dated the 11th July, can you see that letter?
Yes.
What did you indicate at the footnote?
I indicated that you may, however, be required to provide the same document as and when required.
For what purpose?
I informed them ESCC had handed over the document.
Have you made any attempts to seek the return of that bid from Shobika?
I am no longer in KEMSA.
You're no longer in KEMSA.
I don't.
Finally, where and what became of your predecessor, Terry Ramathan?
She was discharged from the authority, I think sometimes in...
But you now understand that she's serving as an ambassador in New Delhi, correct?
I cannot confirm.
Do you live in this country?
Yes, I do.
No further questions.
Counsel for the National Assembly, you may proceed with the explanation.
Mr. Mulwa, you were referred to certain aspects of the Deputy President's response, and I want to direct you to Volume 6. I believe Volume 6 of the Assembly's documents, Honorable Speaker, beginning at page 10 of 534. Of 534 to page, I believe it ends at page 13. Mr. Mulwa, looking at those pages, that's the Deputy President's response on the allegations that you have come to testify. In that response, Has he disputed that he owns the number you claim he used to make phone calls to you?
No.
In that response, has he disputed that his son Ikinu owns the mobile phone that was used to contact you?
No.
If those two numbers don't belong to him and his son, is that a matter we would have expected him to expressly refute in that response?
Yes.
You are also shown in his response several companies that participated in that tender, correct or incorrect?
Correct.
As the deputy president intervened for any of those others except Shobika, which is linked to him?
Not a single one for the whole period that I was in KEMSA, except that one.
Should we take it again that it's a coincidence out of several international companies? The one he was harassing you about was the one linked to his own company, Crystal.
It's not a coincidence.
As a matter of fact, in that response, I'm trying to open the clause, Mr. Speaker. Clause 4.3 of his response, no, 4.3, on page 11 of 534. What does the Deputy President say in his response to the charge you have come to testify?
I am aware of a foreign company known as Shombika Impex Private Limited, domiciled in India, which appointed Crystal Kenya Limited, where my son is a managing director, as its agent in Kenya in 2014. To date, Crystal Kenya Limited has complied with agency terms between itself and Shombika Impex Limited. And there is annexed RG 18, an appointment agency letter by Shombika Impex Limited.
Is that an admission by the Deputy President himself that there is a link between Crystal, his company, and Shombika?
Yes.
You were asked about the confiscation of the billboard by the EACC. You recall those questions?
Yes.
Was Shombika's the only billboard the EACC was holding?
No.
Which other billboards was it holding?
They were holding all the bid bonds for the 17 companies that had bidded in the tender.
So, in his response, as the Deputy President explained why it was necessary, if all the bid bonds are confiscated, for the one for Shombika to be released?
Not any that I've seen.
Of those 17 companies, which one was recommended for the award of the tender?
Shombika Impex.
Which one was awarded after the cancellation and the repeat?
The tender was cancelled and the procurement was done, was directed
Because we want to object to that line of questioning. That never came in my cross-examination. He's opening new grounds. He has to limit himself to the content of my cross-examination.
Objection overruled. Proceed, Counsel for the National Assembly.
Mr. Speaker, I even lost my thoughts on during the...
You had asked the procurement. The procurement was done by the Global Fund in Geneva.
Yes.
Through their global system, WAMBO. And the tender was awarded to one of the companies that had bidded, based in Tanzania, I cannot remember the name, and another one from India, I think Yokur or something. through the Global Fund system.
You have been told, sir, that your testimony is a concoction. Is your testimony and your affidavit before the Senate a concoction?
What I have submitted before the Senate is the truth and supported by documentary support.
Has any basis been laid in the response by the Deputy President or in his cross-examination to warrant the conclusion that you have concocted your testimony?
Not any that I have.
But Dr. Would you have any reason or motivation, remembering your own oath, to concoct lies against the Deputy President of the Republic?
No.
Has any reason been proffered why you would concoct any lie against the Deputy President?
No.
Lastly, sir, has any material been placed on record to show any of the averments in your affidavit is a concoction or inaccurate?
No.
That's all for purposes of re-exam. My colleague will put just one question, then we'll rest this witness. Mawira will do it now that he's next to me.
Mr. Speaker, my name is Boniface Mawira. Dr. Just one question. You asked whether Kenya lost money as a result of that tender cancellation. What is your response?
Yes.
How did Kenya lose money?
KEMSA, as a government agency, gets its revenue from fees charged for procurement, warehousing, and distribution of products that they procure on behalf of partners. And for this particular case, KEMSA lost procurement fees, which was coming to about 55 million Kenya shillings.
Thank you. That is all for this witness, Mr. Speaker.
Counsel for the National Assembly, are you done with the witness?
No, Mr. Speaker, sir, we still have a further two witnesses.
This particular witness?
Yes, we are done with this particular witness.
Good.
Thank you very much, Speaker.
Now, Honorable